Guys, I've changed the tactic again.
No, don't do that.
At least I haven't sold our best players, though.
We're gonna do it anyway!
I'm just joking. Welcome back to Youth to Gold. I've actually missed you. Last season, we finished second in the league, but did awful in the cups.
Cheers, Jeff.
Speaking of which, Liverpool won the Champions League against Real Madrid in the final. Alphonso Places has basically become our talisman and key player. Speaking of which, the best comment from the last episode goes to Mayo Waujo for this quality banter.
This is great banter.
So let's see if you can beat that down in the comment section of this video, and I'll feature it in the next one. We are still rich according to this, but from my research we still have some huge debts. Squad wise, I've decided I need to start Sakai more games. His mental attributes are phenomenal for a player his age, and I need that intelligence on the pitch. As well as Rouvier at left back, who I've neglected since signing and I think could be better than our actual left back. As well as sending some young talent out on loan, including these three players. Do you want to meet some new signings?
Go on, man.
First, we have a great striker who is the main reason why I wanted to change the tactic. He is just 18 and looks amazing, with his only weakness being off the ball at this point. Scufalis had an £11 million release clause that I knew I wanted to activate right away. The only other player I have bought so far is Christian Soria from River Plate for just 6.5 million, who will probably be more of a squad player this season. So just the two signings so far, but Bayern Munich are sniffing around Alphonso Places.
No.
Let's take a look at this tactic in action when we concede the first goal in the opening game of the season against Reims. Thankfully, our firepower up front is strong, and from a weird clearance, Sakai rewards my trust in his selection. It took until the 74th minute before the next goal, another wild one too, when the deflection landed at the feet of Scufalis around the 6-yard box. Not long later, Sabal made it 3-1, and finally, Alphonso Places was the man who put the game out of reach, and we win 4-1. So the tactic is an exact copy of the one we were using already, but with an extra striker in the poacher role up front and the left wing back pulled back. And hopefully this will just overwhelm our opponents and we'll score more goals. I don't know how it will do against the tougher opponents, but we won our next game 6-0. And in an away win against Lyon, it was the same story, as we completely smashed them off the park 3-0. We had 18 shots on goal, and both midfielders even got on the score sheet, so my decision to play Sakai really has been justified right away. I don't know what this means for Asp Jensen. I have offered him out, but there has been no bites as of yet. And as for Doué, I want to keep him here, as I really do think he is quality, and he's French, and still only 22. Dalinga is still around though, and he scored the first goal from Alphonso's outrageous Rabona cross in a 3-1 win against Saint Etienne. Speaking of Alphonso Places, remember, Bayern Munich were interested in him, and they've put a transfer bid in for Matteo Cassou.
Sorry, what?
The offer was 30 million up front and another in add-ons, but I still rejected it. And then they put a second bid in, totaling 81 million, and a third for 97 million. But according to the agent feedback, there's no interest from Cassou. So I just continued to reject them. And a fourth bid came in, but for Alphonso this time. A fifth bid was rejected because once again, Alphonso wasn't interested. And with the window slamming shut and no further actions, let's take a look at our Champions League fixtures, with no easy games, but a couple of winnable ones. Although I thought West Ham in the opener of the Champions League would be a winnable game, maybe the tactic is just not suited for Europe and they beat us 2-1. Against Dortmund, we had an early penalty, and Cassou missed it. And even worse, when Mendoza laid it off to Carabali from the rebound, the shot went into the stands. And that cost us, despite us taking the lead early. Mendoza was sent off with a straight red, and we lost 2-1 from 2 late goals. In the league, however, this tactic is still really good. Matteo Cassou benefits with 2 really good goals, including the second being assisted from the goalkeeper Kraus with an unbelievable pass and a composed finish from the Frenchman against Montpellier. Alphonso also had a great time in the next match against Monaco when he picked up a brace in a 3-1 home win, proving this tactic is great against the strong teams in the domestic league. But then we did lose 5-1 to Lorient. At least we beat Brest though.
Boobs.
So at this point of the season, we are second behind surprise leaders Nice and joint on points with PSG and Lille. Lens is always a tricky game, and they took the lead through Manuel Solomon, but we fought back and Dalinga's cross was met by Cassou and the game finished 1-1. And Cassou was man of the match against Strasbourg as he scored a hat-trick and a 3-1 victory, with each goal getting better in quality, and the absence of Alfonso, who was injured in the last game. But yeah, I can't play this tactic injury.
My eyes are bleached.
But in the league, we smashed teams like these back-to-back 3-0 wins. So in our Champions League game against Atletico, we went back to the diamond formation that we neglected since we sold Oscar Gloop. And with both teams picking up red cards, albeit Atletico's came in injury time, it was a name we haven't mentioned who scored the only goal of the game. A player I loaned out last season, but he's actually pretty good. We just don't unfortunately have a position for him, but today he was awesome. Another penalty against top of the league Nice, and that feels like deja vu. And it gives us another loss. But the next match against Lille was phenomenal. We had 20 shots to their 7. 10 on target to their 0, and 4 goals scored by 4 different players, and not one of them won man of the match, because that goes to our Serbian midfielder Šušnjar, who created 4 clear-cut chances and got 1 assist. A 4-0 dominant away win against Lille. Incredible. Mateo Cassou picked up a hat-trick in the Champions League next in a game we were 5-0 up at half-time and won 6-1. But the game after was Rennes at home, and they took the lead through Calamuendo early into the first half, and we waited until very late to equalise through Delinga with a cracking header. And we left it even later, injury time in fact, until we sent the Rennes fans home crying with a goal from Alfonso Places.
Unlucky.
And after this result going into December, look at this league table. It is insanely close with 3 teams, all on 37 and Nice on 35 points. This is going to be one exciting season. And it's PSG up next. Alfonso Places scored 1 goal, and then he scored a 2nd goal. He picked up the match ball when he scored a 3rd goal, and he went above and beyond and scored a 4th goal in the game against Donnarumma in goal. But we still lost 7-4. In fact, we lost the other game in the league during December as well. But with the win against Shakhtar in the Champions League, we sit in 14th in the league phase. Tally that to 5 Ballon d'Ors in a row for Mr. Mbappe. And Mateo Cassou wins the European Golden Boy this year, meaning we have had a player win that trophy the last 4 seasons. I also want to highlight the progression of players as much as possible, and Romanian centre-back Sabal deserves it at this point. He has been solid for us, and his attributes are increasing day by day. Going into January, the board actually supplied us with lots of extra funds to splash around with. We played an early cup game in January, and it was another great day for Cassou, who smashed in a hat-trick against Lyon and sent us into the next round, and the last goal was once again a fantastic pass from Alfred Kraus in goal. That's 2 assists we've seen from him recently. And I did see a couple of people slagging my mate Kraus off in the comments of the last video, and I'm here to defend him. He's really developed well, and that kicking of 16 and passing of 16 we have already seen plays a massive part and gives us a huge advantage. Out of nowhere, a big bid for Richard Vincent came in from Inter Milan, but I loaned him out instead because I wanted to keep him. He came through our academy, and I just want to see how well he progresses through the first team football. We have made a new signing though. I sent him back on loan to Cadiz because he's getting first team football there, but Juan Jose is now our player, a 6'6" centre back with a fantastic first touch and good passing ability. Back to the pitch, and in the Champions League, our hopes of qualifying rested on the last game after we lose to Inter Milan, and it came against Barcelona, who went 1-0 up through Frankie de Jong's free kick. But in the second half, it was Serbian midfielder Šušnjar who put us back on level terms and making sure we stay in the competition. It was none other than Alfonso Places who got the winner, putting us up against PSG in the knockout playoff typically.
Ooh, how convenient.
January in the league included 2 wins and another loss. And in the cup against Monaco, Scoufales scored his first goal in a while in a 3-1 win, putting us into the next round. Sadly, we weren't as good against Monaco in the league 2 games after. First leg of the Champions League playoff, and Mbappe gave them the lead. We levelled the tie off at 1-1 with a goal from Sabal. Alfonso's brace gave us a win against Strasbourg, but it's 2 majorly important games up next for our season. But we made light work of Metz in the quarterfinals of the Coupe de France. In the second leg against PSG, it was Mateo Cassou who this time bagged a hat-trick against the French champions with 3 more fantastic goals, chipping the goalkeeper with his second and providing us with the best chance to qualify, which is exactly what we did in this 5-3 win.
Get in!
And we ended February with a win against Brest.
Ha! Giggity.
We signed a new contract in March, and it's semi-final time, and with PSG eliminated, it's a great chance for us to win. and 2 strokes of luck in the first 10 minutes on one attack, and an amazing curling finish, and Susnar puts us 1-0 up. 10 minutes later, and a break down the right hand side and a cutback, and he's there again to make it 2-0. Now Lille did put on the pressure and scored in the second half, but we held on and we're into the cup final. Against Manchester United in the Champions League, it's a Marcus Rashford penalty in the following game in the round of 16. We didn't score, but we easily beat them on collecting cards. Second leg to come though.
I'm a fighter and not a quitter.
Unlucky lads, we go again next year. 3 wins in the league though, and Delinga scoring a few as well. And in April, we went on a run like no other. 6-3 away win to Metz, and then what it seems like the norm now as we smash Lyon 5-1. Then check this out, a name we haven't seen for a long time is Matteo Cassou, and he came up trumps once again against Nice in a massive 6-3 away win, giving us back-to-back 6-3 away wins as well, by the way, with a hat-trick after we went 2-0 down as well. And we followed that with a 4-0 win against Lille. After going a goal down, Alphonso Places scored 2 goals in a 6-minute span and put us 2-1 up against Rennes, and they came back with a late goal from Gouiri. And after Alphonso Places gave us the lead against PSG, Matteo Cassou stepped up for a penalty, and once again, he misses.
Damn it, Carl!
But we were on a roll, and Delinga and Susnar scored in the 94th and the 95th minute after Musiala's equaliser, and that's another 3 points. And we are breathing down the necks of PSG, just 1 point behind them with 2 games left. All we can do is win and hope for them to slip up. But our attention shifts to the Coupe de France final against Nice. And what a game it was, as Enrique Pereira opened the scoring just 3 minutes into the final. But unlikely scorer of Lucas Mendoza, our Argentine defensive midfielder, equalised on the 16th minute. We played the ball down the right hand side 5 minutes later, and Sakai's cross found Alphonso Places to make it 2-1. Second half, and this time it's Alphonso Places becoming the provider after his beautiful cross was met by Cassou. And in the 83rd minute, Delinga put the trophy out of reach for Nice to make it 4-0, but they did come back and get a second in the 95th minute, but it was simply too late. And we were crowned champions of the Coupe de France. So it all comes down to the league, just 2 matches remaining. That's a tough one to take.
Oh, you're joking.
And just like that, PSG are crowned champions once again. But I definitely think second and a cup win is still an incredible season. And if we keep those 4 scoring goals, it won't be long before we take the lot.